responsibility also brings stress.
So responsibility also brings, that's a very good point. Responsibility also brings stress. Responsibility brings stress because we want a certain outcome. That's also alright, that you want a certain outcome. But that my sense of success depends upon, my sense of well-being depends upon a certain outcome. If that outcome does not come, I am no good. If that outcome comes, then only I am good. And I want to be good. So I already set my standard. When am I good? Only when that outcome comes. I am no good if that outcome does not come. It's not so much responsibility. It is a concern about the outcome. That is what causes stress. And problem is, the outcome is always uncertain. We can't control. We can control our effort. We cannot control the outcome. What I meant by control is we have to control the outcome that we cannot control. Responsibility requires me to control myself and what I do. That's called responsibility. So that's what doing what is right is called responsibility, whether it's convenient or not. But what causes stress is that I want a certain outcome. Because only when and then I am happy. If that outcome does not come, I am not happy. So I want to control outcome, which I cannot control. So that's why there is stress, uncertainty, causes stress. I am ready to accept what comes. I did the best. That's all you can do. Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, meaning that what to do is in my control. And that's where responsibility comes. That's where to do what is right comes. So to do what is right is my responsibility. What the outcome is something I cannot control. And I have to be willing to gracefully accept it. Grace for acceptance of what I cannot change. God giving the serenity to gracefully accept what I cannot change. Give me courage to change what I can. So responsibility requires courage to do what is right. And gracefulness requires to accept what I cannot control. And give me the wisdom to know the difference between what I can control, what I cannot control. Because we generally try to control what we cannot. And what we can control, Bhagavan will do. Whatever God does, then God will not do that. You have to do. So when we have to do something, whatever God does is okay. God doesn't do things. We have to do. What God does is gives the outcome. And that we have to accept. So it is our habit to judge ourselves based on outcome. You know why is outcome so important? Because I judge myself based on outcome. If outcome is success, I am successful. Outcome is failure, I am a failure. So that is where the problem is. Even failure also is not a problem. When I judge myself, I am failure, that's a problem. Which we habitually do. This was done. It's an outcome, alright. The goal is not, so what do I know? So what do I learn? And I proceed. But when I brand myself a failure, then sometimes I become incapable of even learning from what has happened. I become frustrated and I start blaming myself and I get angry at myself. Then I blame some other people. The whole chain thing goes. So stresses are because I am not willing to accept the outcome as it comes. I want the outcome my way. And I am not sure that it will be so. Therefore, that uncertainty causes stress. What will happen? And so, willingness, responsibility to do what is right. Yes, that's my responsibility. That's all I can do. I cannot do better than the best. to do the best is my responsibility. That can cause some stress. Because you need to be thorough, you need to plan. That stress is creative stress. That makes you do things properly. Otherwise, that knows. So where stress is required is okay. In that way, everything requires attention and a certain amount of stress is there. Even when you're cooking, or make sure that you do things right, So, as long as stress is within what you can control, so long, but you get controlled by stress, that's the problem. Stress becomes so where I get control, then I get depressed. Even stress also, as long as it is in my control, so long it's okay.
So Swami, you talked about a 25-year-old trying to do what 65-year-old does. So what are our...
No, 65-year-old doing what 25-year-old does. Yeah.
So what are the responsibilities as a student, a working adult, and as life goes on, in terms of doing the right things in life and not get distracted by things?
Number one, we should know that. Yeah, the repeat is, the question is, as you grow along in your life, and you have, you are working, you have things to do. So what is the right way of doing things? Is that basically a commitment to do what is right, and therefore in every situation I ask, what's the proper way of doing? Number one, I should know that this karma or doing something is an engine of my growth. Karma means duty. The duty is an opportunity for my growth and my happiness. If I perform my duty, meaning doing what is right, it's called duty. When I do that, that is conducive to a sense of self-esteem. So whenever I do what is right, I always feel good about myself. I may do what is convenient because I want to avoid pain, but later I always regret. I may eat those 2 rasgullas because of temptation. Later on I know that I did something wrong. So whenever we compromise something that is right, for the sake of saving some effort, because laziness, because, then it may give you a what we call short-term gratification, but long-term pain. So choice usually is short-term gain, long-term pain. What is right is usually short-term pain, long-term gain. What is convenient is short-term gain, long-term pain. Almost in every situation we have a choice. And so, sometimes we have to make our mind do what is to be done. And more you do, more you grow. Because when you do something, that is when this attitude comes in. And more we maintain the attitude of what is right, what is responsible, more we grow into our maturity. Because to do what is right, I must keep under check my impulse of doing convenient or avoiding things, So we also see why trying to avoid things. It's not convenient, not important. But Lord Krishna says that karma is by something that you should do. Seek out the opportunities to do things. Use your time, use your talent, and make sure that, in fact, you use them and to contribute. After all, God has given you this body, has given you the mind, has given you intellect, given you education, given you some talents. What is responsibility? To use it as a contribution to the society. So I must become a contributor to society. Because society has given me so much. So even when we grow up, when we go to school, all of this society gives us. And therefore, our attitude is to give back, contribute. Meaning that as a young person or as a growing person, I must seek opportunity, I must look for opportunities where I can contribute. How I can become a greater contributor? How can I become more and more useful? That's what we teach our children. That yes, of course, you go ahead in your career and make money, etc. is fine. At the same time, there must be a basic value. How can I be useful? How can I be as useful as I can? How can I use my time? How can I use my talent in being a greater contributor? Because the whole universe is based or constructed around the principle of usefulness. All elements of nature are useful. Sun is useful for the whole world. So it illumines the world. Water is useful, quenches the thirst. Trees are useful, give you fruits. Trees never eat their fruits, always give you. Cow doesn't drink its milk for you. So the whole nature works for paropakara, means being useful to others. So that's the spirit we should have, of being useful, being a contributor. And therefore, more you contribute, more you grow. So ideally, a person should seek opportunities to find ways of how I can contribute. How can I use my talent, my time, my ability to give out as much as I can. That's the attitude. That's the doing what is right, because the whole universe does it. There's no laziness anywhere, Nobody sits idle. Earth is rotating constantly, sun is rotating, they're all shining constantly, there's no respite. Sun never arises 1 hour late or half an hour late or doesn't go back home 1 hour early, appointed time, it does what it does. Every element of nature does what is expected out of that. Atandrita, Lord Krishna says. Yadi hyam navarteyam jatu karmani atandrita, without tandra, without laziness. If I constantly were not busy and alertly not doing things that I am required to do, this world will come to an end. So Ishvara is constantly doing things, as sun, as moon, as earth, as water, as fire, as every atom, constantly doing things and contributing. Not only doing, contributing. That's what he teaches to Arjuna. That's what you should do. Loka sangramyavi sampashyan kartumanasi. So may you therefore do Loka sangram, means the well-being or welfare of the people, welfare of the society. And we are the beneficiaries. Swamiji, but nobody appreciates what I do. Doesn't matter. When you do something good, your whole mind will be happy. When you perform an act of kindness, when you go out of way to help somebody or do something, you yourself feel happy. So right away there is a reward. For doing good, you don't have to seek reward from somebody else. Your mind itself will reward you. You feel, I did something good. You feel happy. You feel good about yourself. That's how you will be worthy in your own perception. Because we condemn ourselves all the time. We criticize ourselves, condemn ourselves, that's our habit. But when I do good, then I will be happy with myself. So no more self-condemnation. It is self-acceptance, self-harmony, self-esteem, self-confidence. So all emotional problems can be solved by one thing, just become a contributor. Go out and do something. All emotional problems will be resolved. When we put the person in doing something, go and do something. Hands on. Not sitting home and writing and things. Hands on. Go and help. Somebody is hungry, give him food. Thirsty, give him water. Give him blanket. Oh, whatever, go do something. Hands on. And when you give a glass of water to somebody and see that, he is happy, you feel such a satisfaction. So Gandhi used to say, 2 serving hands are better than 2 praying lips. Prayer, of course, he always did, but that's 2 serving hands are better than 2 praying lips. But he always recommended serving, and he did it for the whole of his life also. And whoever came to anyway, he will not let anybody, he will not leave anybody alone. Whoever came to help serve him, they were all, engaged in something or the other. Go and do this, go and do that. But whether you go out and do or not, but this is the attitude. That whatever time you have, what talent, first of all, you must always seek to improve your talent so you can be more useful. And secondly, find the scope or opportunities or avenues where that talent can be used as for contribution. Otherwise, the world would not be what it is. How many people have contributed? How many scientists? All of them have contributed. It's not so. So many scientists, so many writers, so many poets, all these people just gave their life in doing things for humanity. That's where we are. Otherwise, we will still, inventing the wheel, I guess. They did not do these things for us. We are so lucky that we begin from, our Swami used to say, we are riding the shoulders of giants. What it means then you can see far ahead because you are already in the shoulder. If you are on the ground, you could see so little. Meaning they have already done so much, and from there, now we have the benefit of what others have done. So sense of gratitude for what we have got. So that's what our scriptures taught. Have gratitude towards your parents and elders. Have gratitude towards the teachers. Have gratitude towards all elements of nature because they are also helping you. Have gratitude towards all the divinities because they are also contributing. Have gratitude towards all other animals and creatures and plants. They all contribute. So sense of gratitude, which brings about a spirit of what can I do in return? That's called duty.
So in these ashramas which are created, brahmacharya ashramas, very thoughtfully created to how to mature in life. And as soon as some overlapping or one to the other, when you move, then all the problems or the miseries are created. That's what.
So 4 ashram means 4 stages of life: brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyasa. So they tentatively divided the lifespan into 4. Assuming lifespan is 100 years, then 25 years of brahmacharya, 25 years of grihastha, 25 years of vanaprastha, 25 years of sannyasa. That doesn't mean that it's 25 years. It doesn't mean that because you are 25 that you are necessarily ready for marriage. So everything requires maturity. See, before you transit from... So even you require maturity to become a student. That's why the initiation of the student, into the sacred trade, Upanayana, etc. And then, it's not that you are ready to get married because you are 25 or X something. That also calls for a maturity. So every stage of life is a stage of maturity. Vanaprastha doesn't mean that you are just 50. It's not so. Only if you live life intelligently, grihastha, then only become vanaprastha. You will never retire. Meaning that you will never enjoy retirement. So all of this is these stages of emotional maturity or growth. So they hope that by the 25 this fellow has grown to enter the life of householder. By 50 he has grown to enter the next stage of life. But these are all stages of growth in the life. And this is how a person should grow. From student he becomes karma yogi, grihastha means karma yogi. So first is life of study, then life of karma yoga, then life of worship and prayers, and life of renunciation and knowledge. So that's how the 4 stages are.
So dedication to the divine, how that play a role in the growth of the self.
So in the process of growth that we talked about, is there any role of prayer and puja and worship? And definitely. Because we have talked about the self-effort all along. But to effectively do what we need to do, we always require help, we require grace. And therefore, prayer and worship must be a part of the life, seeking grace of Ishvara. So that also is an effort which is required, which we generally will find necessary. Because life will bring us challenges. And we find that very often, sometimes we are not strong enough to take a challenge. Then comes prayer. So Gandhiji, I just remember when he went and his, whatever his mind was. So he always avoided any allopathic medicines and went for naturopathy, even from those days. So I think he was in Bombay those days and his son he felt very sick and he was at some 105 fever and things like that. And he tried his, usual methods, yeah. But the fever would not come down. He did all he could do, fever just could not come down. What should the doctor say? That if you only give your son some soup, chicken soup or something, well, I can't give him. He was a vegetarian. So what do? So much stress, so much conflict now, challenge. My value of being a vegetarian and being naturopath, and here the demand that I must compromise my value. So then he took a big bed sheet, made it wet, wrapped around the body of his son. And the stress was so much that he just could not stay there, he had to go out. He went out just to sort of release his stress and came back after 45 minutes not knowing what will happen, and to his great pleasant surprise, the fever was gone. So prayer, what I am saying is that this kind of, when very often challenges come, we need help and help from Ishvara. So you must prayer must be there in one form or the other. Also offerings, worship, in whichever way, whatever you are comfortable with, that should be there.